What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and beasts of our legislation sizes? We return to MAX0R, the one and only Monster Hunter World Review Extinction Colonialism, aka Monster Hunter, of which I've played and had a pretty damn good time. And of course, what epic beast mode style reaction would be complete without the official Monster Hunter Great Sword, or at least one that I acquired, painted, and customized. You all know the one. Oh yeah. My awesome beast mode Buster Blade. Oh yeah. Now I'm ready for a reaction. Let's get this gravy train rolling. MAX0R, link in the description. Monster Hunter World, fun game. Might play it later. Maybe. Let's get him got a red dot.
Hunter the World is an action style for person, beat him up, slice him up, carve him up, drink him up, kill them all. Where you play as John World, or the Joker and his normal cat, as we find and research the world's most amazing and charismatic megafauna so we can peacefully relocate them to the afterlife. Do you ever regret not being born in time to hunt Siberian mammoth? Or perhaps you're the kind of man who open carries to the zoo, waiting for the day that the chimps become excited. If so, this game could be for you. Set in the hostile and exotic wasteland of Australia, we play as an inherently bloodthirsty and violent race known only as Consuetus Anglicus, and we are here to destroy the local environment as much as humanly possible, so I can wear it. Along the way, overcoming many varieties of horrifying creatures unknown to God, ranging from plausible and interesting specimen to fucking Thanos. And yes, I am reviewing Monster Hunter World and not Rise because the phrase Nintendo Switch port does not fill me with confidence. I'm sure it's a fantastic game, but this looks like an excellent Gary's Mod map. So without further ado, it's time to explain to you my favorite animal cruelty simulator with a game attached to it.
Monster Hunter World, Part 1! Let's go! MAX0R!
It's been so long since I've last seen my son lost to this monster. Forced to fist most, Mobster Trucker is a game without options because there's a few of them. At least 3 monsters are present in the game, possibly 94, and every one of them has 2 armor sets. To hunt after these amazing beasts and where to find them, you need to get into the mindset of our distant ancestors. You see, humans are what we call persistence hunters, which means we kill by running down our prey until they beg us for death. For reference, our closest competitors in a marathon are sled dogs and a horse. Imagine for a moment that you're this big fucking turkey and it's almost time for Thanksgiving. After a long and arduous battle, you run away as far as you can, but every time you turn around, he's still there. And even worse, it's wearing your skin. This is the mentality you must adopt if you're to survive the wilds of Queensland. The mammoth deserves to be extinct because he was weak. We arrived to this new world of possibility known as the Denny's parking lot as part of the 5th fleet of the Research Commission, exploring and murdering this vast continent to track down the whereabouts of an ancient elder dragon. Now, as someone from a country who killed millions of people so they fucking vegetables, this is offensive. So when I heard that these bitches were doing it to find a lizard, I decided I would engage in genocide of my own volition. You will not need motivation to kill in this game. It comes about naturally, just like polio. And to bring about this timely demise, we are given a choice of 14 weapons, all of them completely different from one another, like the light bow gun and the heavy bow gun against my favorite weapon. Let me tell you, if I were stranded alone on a desert island, I would probably choose the fucking gun, because the only people in this world that I trust are my 2 best friends, Smith and Wesson.
Hell yeah, brother!
Gunlance, which is what you think it is. Now, of course I could have chosen the literal machine gun, but playing with these weapons changes the game into a first-person shooter where the objective is to keep the gun away from your mouth. Instead, I was drawn to the insect glaive because 1, that is a badass weapon. Literally fly, and the floor is paying taxes. 2, I get to lace a giant bee with C4 high explosives and throw it at people. And yes, there is an upgrade tree.
That is indeed.
3, me, I get to mount monsters, and that lets me spam custom dialogue at everyone in the game.
The Joker
Side
work.
note, you can fully customize your automatic callouts to
This is true.
preemptively diagnose the cause of your teammate's death, which is very funny. But your choice isn't just between weapon
Weeaboo.
types, but also weapon elements. I won't get into it now since there are a few of them, but my
All of
favorites
them.
would have to include the dragon element,
Hell
the sleep
yeah.
element,
Yep.
or even blast element.
Ooh.
Every monster is weak to blast element. So with all these varied choices, chances are high that at least one weapon speaks to your specific mental illness. Just
yeah.
don't play the hunting horn unless you want Rock Band for engineering students.
Part 2, how to commit animals. Oh, God,
Don't
no.
worry, I know exactly why you're here. I too
Yep,
want to know what
kills
this
them
thing's
all.
foreskin looks like on my mantelpiece.
Oh.
Fortunately, World has you covered. I haven't really explained this because it's in the title, but in this game
You hunt monsters.
This doesn't just mean
Whoa.
killing them, although there is a lot of that. There's two ways to complete a hunt.
can capture 'em too.
Republican and Democrat. Both of them result in endless pain for the animal. Here's the difference. Killing them by slowly breaking each individual bone is a mercy. Capturing them will always give you more body parts than skinning them, which can include their skulls. The only logical conclusion is that we disassemble them like a crab factory.
Oh,
and those
yeah.
are the lucky ones because the other ones are subjected to cockfighting, and my bet always wins. The gameplay of Angry Birds can best be described
Angry
as
Birds.
Bloodborne with no health bars. For most monsters, that's okay because counting broken bones is enough, but some of these bastards spend more time close to death than Joe Biden. In fact, while hunting, your prey will attempt to escape you several times.
Very true.
And fail. Really,
And
the
fail.
entire gameplay loop is just finding new things to turn inside out and then fashioning yourself the perfect drip out of their intestines.
This
Of
is
course,
very true.
There's a lot of ways to build your swag with a myriad of skills like the fast food build, the eating less build, the eating for free build, and lest we forget, the mushroom consumption build
Oh,
to
God.
complete my ultimate McDonald's form. No self-respecting hunter would ever think of going outside without slightly reducing the effects of minor wind pressure.
True.
Or you can do damage like a fucking moron. Take your armor for a spin and throw a body in the bin. Repeat until you win. That's the entire
Epic
game.
bars.
This being said, there are complications. It's better to think of them not like video game enemies, but very stupid cats. And
Yeah,
like cats,
well,
these
yeah.
bitches are territorial, sometimes even going so far as to beat each other to death while I'm fighting them. But I think my favorite example of this would have to be Mr. Nikon. This bastard is designed to wander into random battles, catch you in 4K HD, and then leave for literally no fucking reason. And if that doesn't suit your fancy, there's always Bazinga Goose, whose sole
Well, who?
objective is tracking you down across the map to carpet bomb you for the crime of playing the game. Now, I don't normally play Monster Hunter since I'm more of a Connect 4 SpongeBob man, but the sheer variation on display here
the
is
hell
really
was that?
something. Every single animal has their own unique role, and
What the dog
mine is
doing?
putting them into a museum. As a rule, for every single kind of beast, if violence does not work, use additional violence.
Part 3, Mr. Worldwide.
Now that we have a good understanding of our victims, it's time to take
Our
our domestic
victims.
violence international, because this is a Monster Hunter world, one that makes no fucking sense, both geographically and ecologically, just like
London.
real Australia. So upon beginning the game, we make our way across the dangerous but inoffensive lands of New South Wales, learning the basics, surviving, and expanding our newly founded gulag of Sydney. This hell will be your base of operations for most of the game, complete with every kind of amenity you can expect from savage Welshmen. It's here that we rearm, research, and reforge my weapon again because I am indecisive. There's
Facts.
even a pig that won't
Yes,
stop following
I
me.
love
You can
him.
pet it, but not too much because what
Very
matters
true.
is consent. But most
Oh,
importantly,
God.
this is where we use racial segregation because for
I'm
some
sorry?
reason the only chefs in the entire camp are
Are
cats,
cats,
and
yes.
this is a very unsanitary
That sort,
cooking
though.
environment. You see, food isn't just a buff, and it's not just a cutscene. It's
a
fucking
way of life.
mandatory. I mean, just look at the cardio. My body's an airplane powered by dead chickens. To put it simply, the game is unplayable with an empty stomach for
True.
two reasons. One, it looks like this, and two, I don't have to explain shit. The next areas
Facts.
on our list are what I collectively call the stank tank, and to get there, we need to
stank
contact the
tank.
3rd Expedition Fleet, who have spent the last 30 years smoking weed in their spaceship.
Oh.
This is pretty much why we're here. This new environment is firstly comprised of the Coral Highlands, which are filled with a beautiful and alien ecology, able to support a wide range of pit bulls and more literal balloon animals.
What
From
the
this point
fuck
onward,
is that?
biology is more of a suggestion, but
Oh.
looking just underneath the surface, we find the true source of this bizarre life. It's
Death.
death. The
Oh my
Rocky
God,
Vale
death!
is an area built and
Nice.
designed to simulate San Francisco and is sustained only
Nice.
by the miracle of rotting corpses and feces. You may be asking yourself some important questions right
Like,
now,
why?
such as, can the smell kill me? Or
Yes.
how the fuck? As it turns out,
How the
every
fuck?
monster in the new world has an inherent instinct to die here, specifically, which begs the question, why do predators even exist if they can just wait? And also,
McDonald's?
yes, the stench physically hurts you.
Oh my
Technically,
God.
these are all the areas you need to beat the game by about 30%. Because upon entering our next area, area, Monster Hunter turns
What's in
up the
Australia?
heat and scales every monster back to being threatening again. Yes, even the Great Jagrussi. That means more weapons, more armor, and even more temptation to
Is
kill every
that
mammal
a-
larger than myself.
What
Again,
the-
it's safe to say that this game has a time requirement. So after 30 hunts or so, we finally arrived to the temperate lands of Western Australia. You know, the state that lost a civil conflict with flightless birds. Fortunately
This is
for
true.
us, biology
The
is
Emu
no
War.
longer a
That's right.
suggestion. It's a restraining order. We've got fish that swim through molten magma,
Oh,
lizards
yeah.
that eat rocks, and
Oh.
of course my personal favorite animal, Thanos. His main attack is the crush force of his rock-solid chin. Although I do
Thanos.
think they could have worked on the whole controlling the monster mechanic a little better. It really breaks down when you encounter the fire. But among
That's
the many features of this game, we haven't even gotten close to the train wreck that is the story. After all, there is a
God.
reason we ventured into the land of unusual thermodynamics. It's
Not
just a
melting?
really bad reason.
God has forsaken this game.
First of all, we can tell that this game is a literary masterwork by the fact that characters do not have names. Who can forget such personalities as the Handler, the Commander, and fucking Ganondorf? The story is comprised of two major arcs. Where in the world is the 50-foot tall lizard? And gee, I wonder what Ganon is up to. Both of which are made excessively worse when the game automatically sets the Handler to be in a catsuit. And at this point, I'm afraid of turning it off.
What?
Okay, one last thing, everyone. If I see anyone else on this fucking ship say the words Nekopara cosplay, I will invert your penis with my foot. For the first arc of our multiple stage manga that ends in a sex scene, we chase after the amazing boss fight Zora Magdaros as we apparently forget the location of a giant kaiju several times. This being said, you don't want to find him because his boss battle is an environmental puzzle primarily comprised of loading cannonballs for 30 minutes and then waiting for the boss to move very slowly. We can penetrate him with our oddly phallic spear that extends when needed. For the second arc of our new Genshin anime on Spike TV, we team up with Ganon to discover new and amazing dragons all across the continent. And of course, I mean discover
that
like the
pose?
Vikings meant trade.
Oh,
This is where
man.
some of the toughest and most annoying bosses in the entire game happen, featuring such great fights as Nergigante, whose name I cannot say with a hard R, the Cooking Beast, and my personal favorite, Margaret Thatcher's Nightmare. Of course, there is more to this game because there's always more. But that is basically how you beat the first half.
Of the whole game.
There's an expansion for this game that is more expensive than the game itself,
Yes,
which
Iceborne.
doubles the content and the playtime. I'm gonna be fucking real, guys. I'm not covering that shit. This video is supposed to be short because I made it while on vacation, and vacation for me means working 8 hours a day. This game is lengthy, and you
Very
should
much
definitely
so.
play it if you have the time. But in my current mental state, I do not. So with the release of Elden Ring, I think it's time to move on to a better project. This is basically a MAX0R
I can't wait to see part 2.
And if you like World, then just get the Iceborne expansion because it's more of the same, but
It is.
twice as tall, and most
Very
of the
true.
monsters are on crack. And just to prove it, half of the footage in this review is Iceborne. This is a game that I believe you have to experience because there's just so much.
It's
and
so
yet,
much
so
game.
little time.
Yep.
Thanks
very
for
true.
watching, guys.
It's still a great game, even though there's a lot of stuff in it. It's a lot of video game that I didn't finish myself. It's so much fun, so much fun. You get to get a lance that's also a gun. You also get to get a giant sword like this. Well, that's gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentle gents. He is not lying. That game is freaking massive. You think Elden Ring is huge? Nah. No. Monster Hunter World is about an entire planet. That's literally how big it is. And don't even get me started about that freaking DLC. It's so expansive, I couldn't even continue to play it because it's literally the same old is. Not hating on it that much, but at least out of health bar too. But that's gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. MAX0R giving us the knowledge juice you need to hunt monsters across the whole effing planet, because that's how big this motherfudge-caker is. Link in the description to the main man himself. Also, post in the comments right now your favorite Monster Hunter weapon if you play Monster Hunter. In case you guys can't tell, my favorite of all weapons in the entirety of pretty much any game that has it, a giant freaking sword. That's gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentle gents. If you enjoyed this video right here, take your beast mode claws of awesomeness juice and smash that like button. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beasts of all ages, heaps and sizes, baby. Oh yeah. Love, peace, and above all, stay beast mode for the epic win of all the win.